Welcome to Q&A practice. We will start out with the plaintiff attorney. Ready? Here we go. And was she? No. Now you said that she was sitting on a curb at the time. Yes. Okay. And was she? Did she have handcuffs on or not? Yes, she did. At some point, did you talk to that female? Yes. And did you learn her name? Yes. What was her first name, Sergeant? Ann Ryan. Ann Ryan. Now, why did you speak to her as the sergeant on the scene? Well, during the course, when I spoke to Officer Rios, he described what he had, and then she was outside of a police car and not placed in a police car, and that was part of my curiosity why she was separate or not being detained inside of a car. And he explained to me that he knew Ann Ryan, that I'm sorry, I don't want to know what he explained to you, but why did you talk to her? To find out her role in this investigation. Okay, did she blurt out anything to you while you were speaking to her? Yes. What was that? She told me that we had a dirty cop on the police department. Okay, after hearing her say there's a dirty cop on the police department, what did you do? I asked her what she meant by that comment. Okay, and did she explain? Yes. All right, let's try. This is the same case, but it's a different point, a little bit different point in the actual transcript. We will start with the plaintiff attorney. Ready? Here we go. Did she indicate she was certain it was EPD? Yes. So did you? What did you do after learning that she was certain this guy was EPD? I then gave her some names, almost in my mind, like a 6-pack of names, to see if one of the names she had mentioned, she might have been confused about a name. Do you recall the names you gave? I believe it was Fox, Ramos, maybe Jones, Blake, and Crane. When you say Fox, any response from her? No. Ramos, any response from her? No. What was the next one? Blake or something? Jones? Jones or Blake? Jones. Any response? No. Crane? Yes. What did she say when you said the name Crane? That's him. Did she indicate to you if she did anything in the back seat of his car? She told me that she pulled out some of her hair and placed it in the back seat of that police car. Did she, after hearing this information, as a sergeant, what was your obligation at that point? I notified the watch commander on duty, and then did what? Anything? And then I believe we had a conversation. I had a few more questions. Let me ask you something. As a sergeant and not as a detective, is it your job to get a detailed description of what happened? No, my role at that time was to get an interview, a statement from Sue Graves, and notify the watch commander, who I suggested that he bring down some detectives so they could conduct an actual interview with her to see if these facts were true or not. Now, when you said Crane and she said that's him, did she give a physical description to you as well? Yes. Do you recall what it was? Short hair, similar to my build, but taller and stockier. Did she indicate she wanted to get someone in trouble? She said she did not want to get anybody in trouble. You see Officer Crane or former Officer Crane in the courtroom? Yes, I do. Does he have short hair? Yes. Is he a little bit? Do you know him? Yes, I do. Little bit taller than you? Yes. Okay. Little bit stockier? Yes. And can you describe where he's sitting in the courtroom and what he's wearing for the court? Right in front of me, wearing a dark suit, gray tie, no mustache, white male. Your Honor, may the record reflect the witness identified the defendant? Yes. Nothing further at this time. Cross-examination? Yes, thank you. Good morning, Sergeant. Good morning. So I'm certain part of your role at times is to take over a scene to make sure things get done correctly. That is correct. And while you may assist officers from time to time, if there's a sergeant on scene, the sergeant bears responsibility to make sure things get done right. that is correct. You're not free to overlook things. If you see things being done wrong, I try not. And so I'm certain when you spoke to Sue Graves and she told you about there being a bad cop on the department, was this just made in a passing comment to you? It was unsolicited by myself. I would guess it would have been in passing, and although then it was determined she wasn't involved in what was the original crime again, a carjacking. All right, that will conclude our Q&A practice.